Hello. Hi, hi. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Oh my goodness. Hi, Nexus. Hi, Astro. Oh, hi. Hello. Kawaii. Kawaii. I'm gonna play some Kawaii today. I don't know if I can stream for a long time today, to be honest. I feel like I kinda need a little bit of time to prepare for the stuff. But hey, I just kinda want to stream for a little bit more. Thunder? Ooh. Well, the timing is scary. I just started, god damn it. And quack. We left some quack. Hi, Draken. Hi, Ixen. Welcome. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the redeem thing. Now that I'm 3D, I can be yeeted. And I can be milked. Yes, exactly that. uh-huh. I think this one works. This one works too. And then this one. I'm excited to see Como. I'm excited to see Dragon too. Well, not just Dragon, but chat in general. Como can be mid. Wait, yeah, I mean, don't worry about. No, don't worry about it. Oh, oh my god, Como is getting milked. Triple, triple. Oh, oh my goodness. Milks the Como. Good. You better.
Hey, hello. Remember to open up the subtitle, Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's open. Hi, Snowwolf. Welcome. Let's play some Kuwaki. Wait, I'm gonna become small first. Oh yeah, also I got a spectacles or glasses replacement done. Subtitles. I think I can do that. I'm already yawning. I thought I got coffee today. Shit. And my brain reset it. Just open up Quacky. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just open up Quack. Also, this is pretty fun. I played through the first chapter now, and the game is actually pretty satisfying. The more I play it, right? The more I play, the more I feel like the game is kind of satisfying, to be honest. uh, uh, which one? Any Quake veteran to tell me which one to play? I assume it's this one, question mark? I mean, original means that it's like the first version of the game. Is it? I'm gonna play this one. I think it's fine. Hi, Sandik. The greedy. My god, look at that bird hitting the greedy. Can I do greedy? Do you have VR chat? Yes. Do I play it? Hardly. I don't. I don't really play VR chat as much, or if at all. Only like very rarely when I consider playing VR chat. Only to those who I like. Um, very close, I guess.
Hey guys, TYLRA is doing a secret stream. It's secret, so don't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't tell anyone. Also, TTS? The name's Tyra, not TYLRA. Rude. Did I not play quick? Did I chose the wrong option? Play. Oh, now it's running. Hi, Breen. Oh my god, it bring. Yeah, don't tell anyone. This is a very secret.
TYLRAYY.
Oh god! It's so fucking loud. Oh my god, it's so loud. Help. Shut up! My ears are bleeding! What? What do you mean, what? What happened? Did you see something that you're not supposed to? I can't. Oh, it says I can capture. You know, I'm choosing game capture, and then there's one thing that's called a brainlet for some reason. Here, let me show you. This one, Breen. I can game capture Breen. Oh my goodness. Me. I don't know why. I don't know why it says that. I'm a star. Breen is the star. Where the fuck is Quake? Oh, I found it. Okay, it shouldn't be too loud now, I hope. It's playing at 30%. Oh, thank god. Oh my god, my ears are so good now. Hi, Droxix. Welcome to the secret stream. No one knows about it. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. Okay, what do I do? Enter select. Increase readability of menu, assist with voice or text chat in multiplayer. These are enabled by default. Customize. High contrast. I want that. Alter the typeface. Do I need that? I can read this. Read chat out loud. No. Transcribe voice chat. What is that? Speak for me in voice chat. No. I don't think I need that. Connect to an online mesh to change voice settings. Chat message time center. Backspace is back. Ooh, this game truly looks old. I love it. It has that old aesthetic. Hi Zuri. They don't make them like they used to Sips Monster. What? Huh? Why are we sipping Monster? Sound. I mean, I already have the gameplay at 30%, so it's fine. Display. Split direction. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty okay. A little bit scared of the plane flight on Friday. I'm still like thinking if I'm missing anything or things like that. But ultimately I'm doing pretty okay. I'm just gonna send this to Breen. Okay, done. Okay. I think that's pretty much it, like gameplay. Always run, sure. Combo is missing dragon, Combo isn't packed dragon in a suitcase yet, but Combo's suitcase is too small. Minimal, standard, full, standard. Change weapon on pickup, only if need. Combo. Quick prom. Show classic quick prom, I like that. Crosshair style. The classic. What's purple again? Purple is blue plus red, right? Brother. Oh, there we go. Might be a little bit bright. Oh, hey, that's pink. I like it. Controller? I didn't connect any controller, so it should be fine. Sensitivity, I'm bringing on to smoothing. Nope. Aim assist? Oh, it's for controller, okay. So it doesn't have aim assist for... And Kobo has like 14 dragons and hasn't packed any of them. Kobo suitcase is so small I couldn't even put a dragon claw in. Alright, single player. New game. Kuaki. Oh, it just starts immediately. Hell yeah. Do I have bullet count on this? Now the game is very soft. I'll play at 40... I'll try 50% first. Yeah, the game is very soft now. This is the best game ever. Is that bunny hopping? No, right? It's not, right? I'm not. The whole select... Oh, I'm choosing difficulty. Normal, hard. I'm feeling pretty normal. This is the first episode, Dimension of the Doomed. The mystical past comes alive. Went into the slip gate to start playing Quake. Okay. I'm now in Quake. Why do I feel like it's the best thing ever? I can just jump here all day and just be entertained. Oh yeah. You can jump up here. Shoot the secret door. I found the secret area. Thank you, game. So I need to shoot and not hump. Oh, I need a jumping voice for that. You can jump across. Oh, I got armor. But humping is fun though. Humping is definitely fun, especially with how Kobo is feeling currently. Oh, fucking. Okay. You don't just put someone at the side of the door and you just go like... Don't do that. Oh, I'm moving down. Okay. Dogo? Who the fuck? Sorry, Dogo. I had to do it. Get fucked. Oh, jumping shot. I play Doom. This is mobile shooter, right? Oh, fuck. Okay, don't do that. May I have that? So if I play some unknown games that I never played before, I tend to shout a lot. Combo yelling is so I'll take it. You can use X to check for the secret if you don't want to use ammo. No weapon. Oh! Oh, hell yeah. Oh, oh my god, it's ear-piercingly loud. I love it. Imagine if this is played on 100%. It's so ear-piercingly loud. I love it. Are they fighting each other? No, they're not. Sorry, I'm playing Counter-Strike, I feel like. When it's her command, I don't know. I want to do... Gun. Fuck. I'm okay. Why once it went dark for a little bit? Oh, I'm good. No weapon? Oh, it's 4. Not this time. I'm playing Counter-Strike. I know how to peek and not when to peek. Why is that sound? Counter-Strike, let's go. I love playing Counter-Strike. Very nice. Go swimming in the water. You got it. Which one? This one? I can jump back up, right? Ow. Ow. Why does it hurt swimming? You're just swimming. Wait, that really hurt. No, I'm almost dead. The middle the middle number is my health, right? I need to like... So they're not blocking anything. Oh, it does hurt you? I didn't know they actually hurt. Nah, it's all good, don't worry. I didn't know it hurt too. So now you can see... You cannot see the ammo count, but I think ammo count is fine. But the health and armor is very important, so yeah. I got nails. Walk into the slip gate to exit. There's gonna be something else, right? No, I didn't mean to. Earthquake guy jump sound. It's so good. You would think that the jump sound is the same over and over and it would get old really quickly. I don't think so. I can hear the sound forever and just be happy about it. It's like, huh. There's something wonderful about jumping sound like that. Alright? I don't know how to explain it. Hi, malicious magpie. Yeah, ah, fuck. Dead. To rocket? Rocket in second stage? It's not grating like some repetitive sound can be. Yep. Shakes Cobalt. Oh god, wait a minute. Hi Jade. I've been shaking. Look, Jade, I'm playing Counter-Strike. Ooh. Are you like the boss? Why is the music so fucking scary? Double barrel shotgun? I win. Hi, Uncle Board. Oh. Oh my god, of course I'm gonna use double barrel shotgun. Excuse me? Oh fuck. It hoarded. I got the shells. Okay, wow, it's definitely loud, oh my god. It's only just the music though, right? I'll put 8. Oh yeah, I need to save manually, right? I thought games, I think games like this need to be saved manually. It hurt. It hurted. I'm so good. No, wait, why is Ixon getting bombed? Damn, ow. This door opens elsewhere? The shotgun is not as satisfying, but I'll take it. Why bonk? I'm not even horny in this channel. I am no shame, embrace the horny. Within TOS? Yep. Of course. Me too. Within TOS. Oh my god, this shotgun is a machine gun? Hello? Don't I have the key? Oh, it needs 2? That's the sky, right? Like the old sky. So cool. Weird, I'm back here again. Health pack? Oh, I regret my decision. I thought it's a secret. Oh, it doesn't kill me. Wait, what? I'm so good. Oh my god, I'm such a gamer. Okay. Ay! That's right. Just gonna make sure. Okay, okay. BM, get shit on. I can only BM with an AI. I would not feel bad. Because they're just AI. OG skyboxes, which probably isn't actually a skybox but just a texture. That's very clever. Oh my god, that's all the shells. I wasn't paying attention. Learn too much from CS, including being toxic? Heck yeah. If I can crouch, which is not a thing in this game. When? They try to kill me! Oh shit! Get exploded. Trying to hide there? I saw you. It's using a lot of shotgun shells. I assume it's like a two ammo per shot, right? Lots of panible cuties just want to murder you. True. Oh, how did I get up there? I found it, never mind. It's not a secret though. I guess that's everything. I mean, yeah, it's fine. That was spooky though. Oh, all 24 kills. Como is the killer. I kill everything. Okay, I love that. I love that. Oh, Rocket 2. Rocket 2. Oh, well, you can definitely squeeze through that. Come on. Rocket. What? No, I want to go back. No. Whoa. Ghost died. Did I just dodge every shot from the ghost? That was accidentally very cool. Ooh. You need the gold key. There's... Do I have to jump down? I mean, that is the gold key. Wait, what is this? What if it's like the water doesn't hurt me, but for some reason I drown immediately when I get water above my head level, and I just immediately drown. Maybe that's why. I can sort of walk on water if it's like waist level, I guess. E, fuck! I don't want. Are they throwing shit at me? Oh, 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 sorry. Can you not die? Oh, oh. Oh, I guess they don't die, okay. Oh. Oh, that was funny. Oh no. Oh my god, that was direct hit. No. Double battle. They're just throwing the body parts at you. Holy shit, that's insane. Oh. Secret. Easy. I mean, I'm playing normal, so I guess I'm pretty good. Oh wait, I'm back here again. Oh, I wanted to go here, but that's where it is. Oh, no big deal then. Okay, let's go back. I have the gold key, so yeah. Wait, duh! Why are you so dark? I cannot see. Wait, I have an idea. Go back. What if I can actually kill them? If they don't have body parts anymore, I can kill them, right? You get fucked. Oh, get fucked. Love that. Love that. There were more, right? What you want? Hi, Evie. Hi, Muffin. Kobo discovers explosions. Yeah, I love explosion. Oh my god, look at that. Hello, welcome. I'm playing the classic. Brian got this game for me. I want to try it out. Oh, I'm so good. How is the Kobodi-Doodle? Kobodi-Doodle is doing pretty good. I had coffee this morning, and this game has been a delight so far. Albeit it's kind of short, but still, I like it. I like it. I like it. I hear that thing again. Brenda, what the fuck was that? You want me to jump down? Eat this! Explosion! Die. Bobo don't like you. Get exploded. No. Kobo don't like you. Oh, I see what this is. Okay, okay. We can go back down. Good guta. Good guta. I enjoyed that morning coffee was good enough to make it into your current mood. Yeah. If I have morning coffee, I feel good. If I miss my morning coffee, I want to murder someone. Well, not really, but I'll be very grumpy. I did it. I hear that. Destroy. Destroy. This is the best game already. Where? Done. Were there more? Oh, I see. Oh! Ow! Fuck. Hi, Brian. Oh, hi, Brian. Oh my god, I'm playing Kuwaki. This rank game for murdery feelings. I know. I love it. Well, I don't. Oh, okay. I'm okay. No. Destroy. Oh, am I dead? Oh, okay. You don't have to do that. Oh, oh. I'm playing Counter Strike. I'm playing Counter Strike. I'm playing Counter Strike. I'm playing Counter Strike. Straight. Save me, huh? Okay, I just gonna make sure. Don't forget to save. Occasionally, I haven't saved. Okay. Give Jake a big slap on the face. Oh, it's raining so heavily outside. Hey, I killed everything. That sounded wrong, but it's okay. Oh! 11 hours and 38 minutes? Dang, I'm so fast. I'm so fast. Oh. Oh. Also, I hope you are doing good. Welcome. Biosuit? Super nail gun? Oh my god, super nail gun? So 3 and 5 is like the best gun ever. I want that ammo. No. Eat my super nail gun. Oh my goodness, ow. Oh my goodness, ow. Yummy grenade. Oh, nail gun. I find the Scrags are really annoying to kill with the shotgun. Try a burst with the nail gun. Oh, Scrags is the ghost that was flying? The flying hissing guy. Okay, yummy grenade. Grenade. Delicious. I have trust issues now. Don't do it! Don't do it! I think that hurt. When in doubt, shotgun. Nom the grenade. It has Nin on the nail ammo, 9-inch nails. Nin did the oh Nin. Clever. I have the nail gun now. Da. You die. Ooh. It is a lot easier, it feels like. sneaky suspicion that there's something down there, but I don't think I want to. How about this? I found a secret? Oh wait, that's not the secret. Where? Oh wait, this is the start. I thought I found secret. Turn it into snail. Save and test. When in doubt, save, please, save. Yeah, I need to make that into like a head. Oh, I don't have the biosuit now, so. Guess I have to take a few hits, huh? That didn't kill me. What's with the biosuit then? Yeah. Biosuit gives infinite oxygen. Oh! So I don't drown? Wait a minute. You weren't here, but on the first stage, I went for a swim and I immediately lose health? What's with that? I swim, There was acid, but they look the same! They look the same! Sorry. Does it can't hold your breath? Yeah, I need to manually hold my breath. As a kobold, it's kinda hard to hold my breath because I want to hyperventilate all the time. That is nice. Underwater yip noises trying to hold my breath. Where am I going? Where do I need to steal a key? I got the silver key here. Oh, I have fall damage. What the heck? What the heck? Oh! Don't do it! Don't! What are you doing? No. Oh! Oh, 真麻干真的是，哦咦 I hate it. Don't even. Nah. I don't wanna. Now I feel bad for making you afraid of swimming in the first level. So, oh, that was acid, and this is water. They look the same. Oh, they look the same. You gonna check the water more? I'll try. Oh my god, 8 level. Night dragon. Look at this creature. Creature. Night dragon. Oh my god. I'm doing a secret strum. Whoa, weird. Weed. Weed? Wait a minute, weed? Oh. Kill. The cute dragon. We have many cute dragon in the chat. Oh. Oh yeah, I can shout out, of course. Yeah, look at level. A very nice dragon. No, bad, I don't wanna. Oh! A wonderful cozy hacking beam level. Yeah. I'm still waiting for a chance to redeem that 5k point and then just wanted to listen to how Dragon speaks. I'm gonna do it someday, but not this week. Kobo's gonna fly soon. Gonna go for a convention. Is this acid or is this water? Oh! Acid! Okay, so blue acid. Okay. Bang. Hello? Why are you like this? Three more to go. Ooh. Ooh. A secret cave? Oh my god. Please don't tell me that it's like under the acid. Are you here? Don't. I play too much Counter-Strike. I don't need to tap shoot. Come on. Secret. Don't think it's here, question mark? Yo, that was ear-piercingly loud, holy shit. Open this secret cave? Wow. Invitation? Nuh-uh. Yeah, it's not here. What? Oh! I'm so good. Secret. Secret. Woo! Oh? Me thinks you are backtracking too far? Oh shit. Secret tunnel. Oh. 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 A little quakey wakey. Oh, hi Finch. Oh my goodness, hello. Oh, sound of Kobo discovering things. Do I make that noise?
Why you bullying me?
I don't think I'm bullying anyone. Oh my god, more head pit. More head pit. Oh, oh. Secret? Okay. Mm. Could save and explode the acid and load if nothing is there. Oh, you're totally right. Let's do it. Let me just stand there first. Is there like a quick save? There should be a quick save hotkey. F5 or F7, I believe. There should be. Oh, 7-3 streak? Oh, thank you, Finch. Alright, okay, F5. Ayo! That sounds pretty painful. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Grumble, grumble. Uh-oh. Oh, quick save. What the fuck? Yeah, I did find some screams. You did see the exit, right? Yeah, I did. I'm trying to find the secret cave that it opened. F7 instantly load F5. Okay. Goes to go secrets, I think. Yeah, I'm looking for a secret. I just don't know. Where else could be the cave? Oh. 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 Sorry. I might have to find the water, I feel like. I want to find it. I want that little I can see it. Oh wait, this is start. What if it's at the starting area? Nah, I thought I was big brain. Oh. Check your adorable. Oh, it's an announcement. Wait, how do you do? Wait, I think you told me how to do an announcement before. I don't remember. Use announce. Ah, right. Ooh, big thunder, big rain. Wow, wow. And I'm back here again. Huh? I'm small enough to be onto anything, even your head. Can be purple too, or any color, the color right after announce, no space. Oh, purple? Also like announce color without space and then... Oh. Oh. I want to see if I can die from being squished. Hit me. Hit me. What? Oh! It just do a love tap. It's like, yep. Oh, wait, there's something down there. Okay, I'm sorry. Pretty sure it's in the big water chamber somewhere, but I don't remember exactly. One damage. One bonk damage. Big water chamber, huh? Oh, 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 oh. Oh my god. Oh. Vertical Vengeance. Find the secret exit in Quake Episode 1. Oh. Ooh, the secret level in the game. Oh. What? Whoa. No gravity. Ooh. Satan? Pentagram protection. Wait, so Satan is good? Hit me! Hit me! Hit me! You cannot. You cannot hit me! I want it. Moon time? We left no gravity. What? Wait, can I swim in the lava? I forgot to save. Okay, 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 okay. It's not F7. The rock's super hot. I'll take the S or no. Hi, Fluffy. Wee. Ghost. 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 Super snail gun. Wait, no. Snail gun. Are you dead? What? What? My habit of playing Counter-Strike is happening again. Wee. Oh yeah, BM. Oh. Can I swim in it? Thanks for the clip, Breen. Oh, oh! Rocket launcher? Kablam. They didn't do anything. So like in this game, Satan is good, Angel is bad? I mean, I guess, considering like there's a pentagram of no damage. Nails. I can never get tired of the but then oh, so there's only 3 types of bullet? Oh, secret? I cannot get in. That, or maybe you're just using the devil's power to kill them. Probably. Oh, don't put the. I hate it here. Am I losing health over time? Why? Oh, that's a ear boop. I want the book. And the pet. Overheal decays, no further mechanic. What? Yikes. See. Going down. Oh. Hi. No, no. Get that ass. 69, very nice. I cannot not block the bullet count. I have 69 bullets. Nice. Michael. Kawaki. The first time playing Kawaki. Is that Jesus? Maybe. That is, I mean, it's just like a stick? Question mark? I don't know anything about like religious stuff. I have like zero clue on them. Oh, yeah, lava bit. Hi, friend. I hope you're doing well. I mean, well. What? Oh, wow. It's the Satan. Give. No. Wait, I wanna go swim. Going for a swim. Okay, I cannot swim in it. How do I get up again? Is this where I was? Oh god, my sense of direction is gone. Help. Oh, this is where I was, right? Oh, drink? I will. Hi, Thunder Muglin. Oh my god. Did my snoot get pooped? Oh, sorry. Did my snoot get pet? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I'll be doing it. Yeah. Oh! Are you Kazoo? I didn't know there's Kazoo in this game, man. Am I playing Monster Hunter? Oh. Where? Oh, hi. Hope you like a rocket launcher to your head. Oh. It's kinda cool how Kazoo makes a guest appearance in this game. It's a joke. Door? Nails? Silver rune key? I thought to jump down there. Don't explode. Thanks. Wait, I didn't mean... Oh, that's cool. Counter-Strike. This game definitely copied Monster Hunter. I mean, that kazoo has some similarities. Hi. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't wanna. Don't do it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Are you dead? Okay, they're all dead. Thunder. Oh. I cannot spam the anymore. But I do love being able to fly around. Rocket. Oh! Whoa. Bunch of bullies. Big dragon hut. I want hut too. Especially when it's a big dragon hut. Oh, is this the end of it? But looks like there's something there. See it? Oh, it's a huge health pack, right? I'm gonna go see. I receive 100 health. Whoop! I didn't jump. Help. Oh yeah, you're right. The health decays. That's a big yikes in my book. Good big dragon hug. Oh my god, yeah. Oh. Step on it. Thank you. There's secrets in secret? There's a secret in secret? Wow. How's another excellent double big dragon hug? Double big dragon hug. Hi, Kafire. This is a treat here doing quick. Yeah. It just started doing quick too. My personal favorite thing. Cool level. I love the low gravity level. Hope you're doing good, Kafira. Okay, is that water or is that acid? Oh, it's water. Optimal strap? Definitely water. Don't, no, don't hide. I saw you. What? Who the fuck shot me? Who? Step 1, jump in dirty water. Step 2, open mouth, swallow. Infinite hydration. Oh no. I'm ready to see the issue. Like, oh my goodness. If the time allows for it, I'd love to roll with you on some Quake co-op. Oh, there's a multiplayer in this game, right? We could play some co-op, even though I don't know what I'm doing, but hey. Is this... Oh! Oh, you little shit. So don't step on this. Hello, bye bye. Hello, bye bye. Rocket. Nuh-uh. Oh! Explosion! I mean, I like explosion, but not on me. What is that? Ow. Wait, dude, oh my god, this place is traps! That is like ear bleedingly loud. Ghost. Wow, this game is hard now. Night dive have been incredible. Night dive? The night dive release on Quake and Quake 2 make joining lobbies incredibly easy now. I don't know anything about that, but I'm glad it's pretty easy though. Heck yeah. Oh man, my brain is not clean. God damn. I'll stop. Are you trying to... Yeah. Oh, are you a dog? Got him. Oh, don't do it! Don't do it! I'm just a kobold with 3 health point. Help! Ow. Okay, we could... Secret? That works. Oh wait, I did the shortcut, right? But there was something. Wait. Oh, fuck! This one. I don't need to do that. Okay, done. Oh! Oh my god, this game is fucking scary. No, if I rocket first. Hey! Safe. Pet the kaboop. Kaboop. No. Oh, I got stabbed. I almost died from that. Got him. No armor, Cowboy's nude. Yeah. I need armor. Don't do it! Is it dead? Nuh-uh. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Got him. I do my. I hate it here. Oh, it's a secret area. Nice. One of my favorite co-op strat I do with my friend is the flank and spank. Love the sound of that. Me and my friend flank stray shamblers with axes for 0 to death stun lock. 0 to death stun lock? X? I'm not nude anymore, by the way. I can use rocket launcher again. Maybe not here. Maybe here I can do it. How did I kill you? Is this the end? Oh, the door is still locked though. Am I missing something? Oh! Wait, I remember this. Isn't this... Wait, this is where I started, right? I love coming out with names for city tactic like that. We love city names. This is opposite of the end. This is where you start. Oh my god. All good. Don't. And then the ear bleedingly loud. What did I get again? Wait, I'm back here. Oh. Hi. I guess this is where I need to go. Rain. I love shotgun. Here are Komo. Gets hit by a massive dart. Must have been the wind. Probably a rat. Must have been the wind. Who's there? No. No. Probably a rat. Rat? Rat, rat, rat? Oh god, rat. Rat salmon breed. Rat. Rat. Is it rat? Is it rat? 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 Oh my god, we have a rat artist. Look at that. Oh. What a rat. Rat. Oh my god, rat. Kizu, hi. Oh my god, it's actually just Kizu. Hui! All good. Hi, Kezu. Fluffy zappy boy. Good art, I know, right? Right. I know, right? Look at the little yogurt on the nose in your mouth. Oh wait, you're right. This is the Shambler. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna call it Kazoo from now on because I'm a Monster Hunter fan, girl. Is that right? Did you go to the red photo shoot? I got some red art from the artist. It's Shadow the Rat. It's Shadow the Hedgehog. And the rat that made our art has since passed. It's how it goes with the things. And maybe there are 2 paintings on our fridge. Oh, it's okay. We have the red legacy, the painted. Hey, I'm stuck. Bullet. Yeah, rats are pretty cute, honestly. Ah, not this time. This is where I came from, right? Why would I want to be here? See, I remember. Sometimes. This is the Kazoo room. But if I go out from here, it's just here. Eh? Oh, key. Mine. You're getting turned around and lost in every level, just like me, for real. If you watch me play Doom, I think someone will get frustrated if they watch me play Doom. I get lost for like an hour at least in the stage. My fucking leg. What? I didn't kill everything? This is the worst game ever. Hi, Sora Napalm. God, still love those emails. Welcome. More red? Red. Oh my god, look at this guy. Tira din Kira. Sad cobalt noises. God, they're so small. Weird dog. Yeah, weird dog. I love them. Also, what is this? Red blanket. Love the little beady eyes, yeah. Red moment. This dog is really weird indeed. Damn eyes too. Good morning. Have a dose of your morning coffee. Rocket launcher flavored. Oh. Need the gold rune key. Okay. So lava is bad. Boba eyes. Love the color on that red. On that one though. Oh. Don't like that sound. Hello. I hate you. Oh no, this is gonna be so confusing. Oh god. Because I'm already confused. Ow! What the heck is the stage? Oh, I see the key. Lava heart. Incompetent dragons can withstand the heat, surely. I cannot. I have fluff. My fluff will get destroyed. Incompetents can only withstand the heat of one dragon, because after that they will be very, very tired and full. Oh, that kind of heat? That too, yeah. That, if that kind of heat, I can definitely withstand it. Wee. That was ultimately generous. That was mega generous, actually. Your way has been lit. Wasn't specified what kind of heat to begin with. See, Cole agrees. Us kobolds can agree a heat of one dragon. What? Is this the end already? Oh, okay. Oh, add the silver. Okay, okay. Hmm? Ow, fuck! I'm so confused. Hi, Breggy. Hi, Devin. Stop quacking. I have to quack. Hope you're doing it. Welcome, welcome. Why is there a thing? My ears! My ears! My ears! I mean, why jump? Why do this when I can just like... Don't do it! Don't do it! Ow, 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 ow! Point blank! Point blank! Nope. 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 I did it. I'm so good. I was supposed to... Hope you enjoyed the game tier, Absolute Classic. I've been enjoying it so far, yeah. Little does I really know, but kobolds are not supposed to quack. I can quack with a hint of yeep inside, like a quick, quick. Exactly that. Quick. Aha. Don't. I learned how to kill these things. I've been meaning to get the Turok port on Steam. Here it's good and it's another classic. I played Turok 1 and 2 by Night Dive, loved them. It's literally just felt like N64 games with good controls. Oh! So Turok is another one of those mobile shooters? Question mark? Why are you angry? Is that the sound of Kazoo again? Oh! I can get the golden key now. It's a classic with dinosaurs? Oh, and sometimes the dinosaurs have guns? Dinosaur Smoocher? Turok. Turok. Oh, it's only 10. Oh, it's on 75% off now? Turok bundle 123 is 60 ringgit. Oh my god. What? Let me check. Oh, you guys gonna see what I'm looking at. There. Turok bundle. Oh wow, Turok 3 is the expensive one. Turok 3 feels a lot like Half-Life in how it plays. Yeah, Turok 3 only has like 35% off. Overwhelmingly positive, very positive, very positive. A lot of people just play 1 and 2, it feels like. This one is 2,800 reviews. This one has 2,000 reviews. This one has 400 reviews. Oh, that's fun. I'm a fan of Half-Life if you didn't know. I love Half-Life. I do. But to spend $60 pula, to spend I cannot speak today. Wow. to spend another 60 ringgit, it might be a little bit much. But I might buy 1 and 2 because they're only like a total of 20 ringgit. So it's like, heck yeah. And then the 3 I could wait for a longer time because they released in 2023. Wow, very recent. 2017, 2015. Yeah, that's understandable. Maybe I can wait a little bit longer until this one has like 50 or 60% off. Then I can buy it. But for now, if I want, I could just buy Turok 1 and 2. I also like the Turok reboot on Xbox, to be honest. You know what? I'm hiding my screen because I'm gonna do something stupid. Well, not stupid. I'm buying the game. I'm buying Turok 1 and 2. I mean, dinosaur smooches, how can I resist? Honestly, I cannot resist smooching dinosaurs. Oh my god. Smooching dragons, of course. That's a given. Alright, 21 ringgit. I can pay for that. Bye. Oh wait, didn't I hide the screen? Oh shit, I thought I was hiding the screen. Oh my god, that was stupid. Well, oh wait, where's Quake? Oh, Quake died somehow. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, that didn't show too much. Hey, can I see your credit card information again, just real quick? No, it's not showing my credit card information. Oh my god. This teaches me, man. No. Yeah, they could have gone worse. But it's alright. I think, let me see. Just now those, it showed the last numbers. Last 2 numbers. Oh, 69. Yeah, it was a nice number. It was a nice number, but I don't think it shows too much. It shows too much, so I think it's fine. What? Sorry about the headpad. There, I bought. It was supposed to be a secret. How did Quake die? What the fuck? Hey, I was about to roll 1 coincidence. Heck yeah. Quake just died. What the fuck? No wonder the screen isn't blocked. I got destroyed by Quake. Can I believe it? Quake had 1 moment of no attention and imploded. God damn it. Oh no, I saved here. Quake engine is not very friendly to losing focus. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, now I know at least. I'm gonna lose focus once more. Is it showing? Okay, it's showing. Okay, good. Now this one, I'm just gonna... This one. Die! That's mine, thank you. I want this as well, thank you. Do I hear whispers or is it just me? I think I remember what to do. Maybe. Oh, oh my goodness, I see shotgun. Heck yeah. Kablam. I love shotgun. The way it has been lit, I fam, for real. What is this? What is this speak? You're speaking the language of the gods. Just woke up, still in bed, watching from phone. Oh, comfy. How did I get that? The feeling of shotgun woke me. It is pretty early. Hey, fuck. Are you dead? Are you dead, dude? Are you dead now, huh? Thanks for the rocket. Oh yeah, this opened. Okay, so I'm checking. Have you ever tried looking up Brutal Doom? It's like Doom 2016, but classic Doom, and was actually part of the inspiration for Doom 2016. Never heard of it. I do not support Brutal Doom. Good mod creator is problematic. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hi TD Ben. I followed you. I noticed. Hi. Thanks for the follow the other day. And by that I mean yesterday. Getting out and turn on computer. Okay. Take your time, man. Holy. Can you not? I know grenade yummy, but I don't want to eat it now. Oh, you were closer than the last time. What the fuck? Oh gosh, diggity dang. It's unfortunate, but just my opinion. I did love it before I know. This kinda look like Doom. It is similar, right? I mean, it's Quake, but I think most mobile shooters look similar, which I kinda understand. I'm still trying Brutal Doom because it's not like you're buying it. I pirated Fight Night because the creator is a shitter. Oh, fair enough. We don't support shit of a creator. Yeah, I think it's here, right? And then the game crashed here. Let's save again. Hell yeah! All right, where's the kazoo? You're not kazoo. Yeah. Can you not? Bye bye. Hope lava is fun. So how do you lose your health? From being hit. The proper term is not mobile shooter, but a boomer shooter. Shake my head. Look, Jade, you're gonna use this emote if you're gonna say that, okay? Actually, I just think it's kind of cute. And fuck the mobile shooter. I don't know. It's like you move a lot, very mobile. Actually, eat the meatballs flying out the lava. No, they look dangerous. Literally. Nuh-uh, I know not to eat explosions now. Nope, I lied. I just ate it. Even then, it's called movement shooter. Okay. Oh, I'm naked again. There's subgenres, FPS, movement shooter. I just call them like shooty bang bang. Shooty bang bang is the Kizu! Kizu, I have no place to hide. What the fuck? Kizu! Kizu! And that's the Kizu now. Are we? I need health pack. Delicious health pack. Kizu, my beloved. That looks nothing like a Chernobyl maggot. Kizu. Shoot hoop, it is Kizu. Cobalt deemed it to look like Kizu. Can I do like... Okay, yep, Bipedal furry Kazoo, perhaps? Maybe before I was going down, like a timer didn't stop at 100. Yep, because the health decays, like who mentioned just now? So if your health is more than 100, it will start going down slowly until you reach 100. You can never have like more than 100 health, essentially. I don't wanna eat. Nope. I don't wanna. Nope. So I need my snail gun for this. It becomes an enclosed space. How the fuck am I supposed to fight Kazoo here? Kill! Got him. Easy. I'm hacking. I'm so good because I hacked. It was nice to say back, true. Kizu is like, oh, I killed you just now. Okay, well, that'll be nice. Thank you, Kizu. I love you. Alright, go down. Oh wait, that's the end. I didn't kill everything. I need 3 more kills. Oh my goodness. Miss 3 kills, restart the whole game? No. No. See, it's fine. Is that a gun? Inilah firearm? Ooh! Ow! Can I kill this thing? So you know where I am forever? Are you using wall hacks, huh? Do you want to know? It's okay, not now. I'm here, shotgun. Welcome back, man. It doesn't drop blood. I don't think I can kill it. Yeah, it doesn't drop blood. I don't think I can kill it. Now, don't throw rocks at me. That's what I'm supposed to do to you. Chill! Don't throw rocks! Oh. Don't tell me that's it. There's no way! What the fuck? That's not a boss! Oh my god, alright. I mean, yay! Man, that boss is hard as fuck. He used up all my bullets for them. Oh my goodness! Can I do it again? To be fair, being pierced by lightning like that hurts. I don't think Satan can handle that. So, or maybe that's not even Satan. That's just like something else, I guess. Anyway, how do I progress? Where was that little thing that I can jump into? Where is that bloody hole? Oh, I see. Bloody hole. My leg. Booped, yeah. I know I've been booped. What do you want? Okay. Whoa, holy shit. I suddenly killed 21. I suddenly killed. Oh my god, I'm so good. As the corpse of the monstrous entity, Chiton sinks back into the lava whence it rose. You grip the rune of earth magic tightly. Now that you have conquered the dimension of the doomed realm of earth magic, you are ready to complete your task. A rune of magic power lies at the end of each haunted land of Kawaki. Go forth, seek the totality of the 4 runes! Exclamation mark. Oh wait, I didn't even see the congratulations over there. Land of Kawaki. So I win. Hello? Oh, is it like next episode? This is the second episode, The Realm of Black Magic. Ancient castles and what lies ahead? Strange beast. Oh, wait, strange beast? Dragon? Yep, oh my god. Yep. That looks like a dragon. 2. Oh. Oh wait, can I stay in there forever? Holy shit. That looks like bacon. Where my bacon? Give me bacon. You're not bacon. Yep. Oh, sorry, doggo. I had to do it. I'm sorry. I'm playing Counter Strike. Mega yip. So the world record on this map is I'm hearing multiple chicken nugget. 6 seconds. It will already be done. 6 seconds? Holy shit. So about the strange beast, huh? Are they lying? Now it's telling me I'm sending messages too quickly. You need the golden key card. I need the golden key card. Hi. Don't do it! I'm just a naked bold. Don't do it. Oh, demon. Question, is this water or is this acid? Okay. Feels like water. Looks like very dirty water. Because I feel like it's a mix-up. I don't know if it's gonna be a... Who the fuck? Aegon with 1 bullet. Give Tyrion the strange beast, he deserves it. Yeah, give me the strange beast. Can you shoot from top of me? Oh my god, it's cheesecake. Hi, cheesecake. Oh, demon! Hi, cheesecake. Oh my goodness, it's cheesecake. Bathe in the stinky sewer water. Dog! Dog! Key, hi. You were hiding. I almost didn't see you. Is the adorable Pintier who is awesome and cutie bean? The quick dimension surely is terrifying. Yeah, just no strange beast. So cool too. Wow. All of those applies the same to cheesecake as well, I believe. Stinky water. Hope you're doing good, cheesecake. Oh, I'm the best? Is there more? Oh, it just brings me back here. I love cheesecake. Yes, you are? Who? I'm doing good. Just got home from clinic work, so I'm EP. Oh. Clinic work. Hopefully the work wasn't too hard on you, I mean. But yeah, EP is also good. Okay, now question. Is this acid or is this water? Okay, it's water. We got water. So I can I go down and check for things? I'm gonna save again. Whoa! Sippable water? Oh, that's it? What the? What? What? I need to drink water. What a good. Where's the golden key card again? A bottle? A bottle? Bottle? A what? Bottle? Key. 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 Gun. Come out, I'm playing Counter-Strike. A gun with more booty. Where the fuck did they come from? Where the fuck did they even come from? Do they know teleportation? I think this is a bad thing. I think shooting this is bad. Yeah, very bad actually. They rushing the bomb site? Cannot believe it. They rush B. Wow. No. 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 Cells? Shells? Have you seen me play Underrail recently? Yes. I saw a lot of looting, a lot of like pickpocketing, and then I saw you found a shotgun in the game. I play my dream build there. Stealth shotgun crafter. Oh, we can craft shotgun? Oh shit. Oh my god, that dog is so loud. Beep beep. Sorry, doggo. It has to be done. Bedtime gotta go. Have a good sleep, TD man. Why eat dark? I don't like it. Why you like this? Ooh, what damage? What? Oh my! Oh! Wow, you're gonna get Fabernaxed now. A double-barreled shotgun. Get fucked! No! My power! No, my power is gone. Maybe time. Okay. Okay. Is this the end? Oh, I killed everything. Heck yeah, I'm the best. Fancy lighting? Yeah. I can totally recommend Underrail, can make super cool builds. But I feel like the point and click kind of thing, I don't really like it as much. But that's just a me thing. I'm willing to give it a try, heck yeah. Underrail, right? Hi, how you doing? I was sneaking behind you, how could you know? Normally this is my cup of tea as well, but I'm positively surprised at how fun it is. Ooh, okay, okay. I see, I see. That was point blank double barrel, come on. Well, one of them kind of just went down, so... Yaki Piki, I guess? They wear armor, but still... They would fly away even with armor. Oh my god, is that dragon? Can I look at dragon in peace? Oh my god, they look so good. Oh my god, I love them. Oh my god, heck yeah. Dragon. There's two dragon too. I love the dragon. Can you touch dragon in peace? I know, right? Good gods, man. Nope. We'll never stop simping dragon. I love this map already, there's so many dragons here. Don't do it! Woo! Understandable. Thank you. I must think dragons. Don't do it. Oh! Out demon in a nutshell. Out demon. Oh, what the fuck? What happened? Well, there was a lot of bullets. Oh, Kenzo! Help! Oh my god, Kenzo! Don't do it! I'm just a local. Okay, we good. Oh, oh. Why do the ogres never listen to Tiara when she says don't do it? Yeah, don't do it. It's a simple request. Oh my god, I ate that. That was delicious. Okay, no health pack. Bullets are not looking good. Oh, wait, there's shiny inside. Maybe I need to smoosh the dragon. I mean, the height of me trying to smoosh this dragon is kind of sus, but I'm not gonna say much. I'm too fast, I cannot control myself. A smoosh is a smoosh, a smoosh is a smoosh, doesn't matter where. Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh! Rocket 2! Double? How am I supposed to get up there? Grenade launcher explosions? Yeah. Secret? Combo, I just noticed. Follow combo. Oh, cool, right? Heck yeah. Combo friend. Have I followed combo friend though? I don't remember. I think I did. No, I did not. I am a liar and I'm a liar. Okay. There we go. I'm a liar. I thought I did. I can't believe it. I did not follow a kobold. Holy shit. I'm a fakey dicky. Yeah, fellow kobold. Explosions. You know you like it. All the yips for the fellow couple. I heard something. Don't do it. I don't want to eat it now. No. Oh, ah, ooh, ah, ah. Okay, we good. I only rarely stream. It's the fellow couple. I agree, Merp, 100%. If you are a kobo, we follow. Because pack tactics and stuff. I got 3 followers now myself. So happy. Nice. Good stuff. Merp deserves it. Merp cute. Don't do it! I have fluff. You don't destroy your fluff. What the fuck is that movement? Did you know teleportation? Did you know something that I don't? Oh my god, this this guy's the movement tech is crazy. He lost a couple friends. Speedy creature. You guys too nice? You're the nice one, Merc. Neogun. Hot Demarge. Oh, I'm being brought down. Okay. Oh, the Quad Demarche is supposed to be for Kazoo. Wow. Music, chill, music, chill. Nuh-uh. Before you throw your body parts at me, get exploded. Ow. Oh, Kiki. Who killed you? Oh! Can you not do it? Thank you. Explosion! Wake up. Wake up. Thank you. Whoa, the jump. Or the bounce. Ah! Oh my goodness, why is that? I don't know. Why? I picked the precious coop. Boop boop. Kukurk. Kukurk. We pet the precious couple. Merp is mega precious. Hi, Hank Shepherd. Oh, it's been a while. Hi. There we go. There we go. What happened? Hope you're doing good, Hank Shepherd. Is this the end? I feel like it is. I almost found all the things. Oh my goodness.
This thing's broken, doesn't reflect the right number XD.
It doesn't reflect the right number? Oh shit. Uh-oh. First try and you got the Sunny? I'm so sorry. You can beat the Sunny. Thanks for the subscriber. Thank you, Hank. I'm not kidding, it literally makes me happy to be here with all these good people. I mean, I'm happy with all the good people here. It's part of the reason why I like being here as well. So, heck yeah. The Neogun, been sub to you how long now? I have no idea. Like at least a year or two, if not more. Oh, so it says for 3 months is fakey dicky. I guess it's Twitch being Twitch. Well, thanks a lot for a lot of subscriber from you, Hunk. The chair on the cake is like with shotgun? Shotgun. Tira Cup is a sweet community. Wow. I mean, I'm just glad to be here, honestly. It makes me very happy. I always wanted to make a good community. Or like a community that's very accepting, so yeah. I mean, even I feel accepted by my own community, so hell yeah. It's a wonderful feeling. Yeah, fine, we're gonna do DVD again one day, still dork, but I don't think I'll be playing. Fuck. Oh. Now I'll be playing DBD anytime, or if at all. You! Not the second time, bitch. Point blank. Another one here. Huh. That looks cool, actually. No armor? This might be a secret. Yeah, scary games don't do well if I remember. Yeah, but I also like scary games. What? No secret down there? I feel like there should be. Wait, is this where I came from? No. Don't like that sound. Fuck. Thanks for the clip, Merp. How are you doing? Good morning. What? What? You just opened now? That's not a secret. Okay. Hi, how you doing? Fish? Oh! Did I just kill fish? My bad. I didn't mean to kill fish. Oh, thanks for the clip, man. I'll watch it later. Who? Where? What? What? Oh. Playing Counter-Strike over again. Uh oh. There we go, done. Wait, it's not here. Wait, fishing grenades? Heck yeah. Wait, if they add that, it'll be more fun. Wait, what is that? What did that do? Do I have to go back? Or go the other way? Don't do it! No! 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 Easy. Oh. Friend, don't do it, friend! Oh! Oh my god! Okay, we good. Are you? Where? Did it die? I cannot tell. Got him. Oh, secret? For rockets? That's not all rockets. Yikes. Fucking fish. Fish fucking dead. Wait, have I been here before? God, I'm so confused. Help. Oh. Fish stick. What the fuck? Oh, hey, look, it's her. Wee! Huh. Oh, I had a feeling, I had a feeling. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so good. Oh my god. Konnichiwa. Oh, konnichiwa, Nita. Konnichiwa. Oh my goodness. I hope Nita is very genki desu. I'm sorry, this is like my extent of Japanese. This you. That thing's bad. See. Oh! Oh my god! Kizu! Don't do it! Help! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Kizu! Don't do it! Oh god! Thank you. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Oh, now you give me the... Now you give me the snail gun? Ooh, double barrel, baby. From Nikazu, so true. Got them easy. I am hacking. I'm using wall hacks. I'm using aim hacks. Yeah. Hi, Wildflower. Don't do it! Ah! Man, that hurt. Why are you like this? Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god, Kizu! I'm dead. Oh. Oh, hey. I'm so good. I found secret. Oh. They say something about underwater opening. Did someone read that? I didn't read it. I guess it's like I have to go underwater and find things. Fish! 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 Hi, Cobalt Seal! Hello, welcome. Oh my goodness, I got secret boot. I got armor. 200? Hope you're doing good, Zeal. It's Zeal absorbs Zeal. Uh oh. Wait a minute. Wait, how, when, how did you, huh? Okay, I was here. There's a secret. Nothing's here. Zeal is now part of the Trenchcoat Collective. Who's gonna be the third one? But there's nothing there. Is this secret or is this not secret? My couples? What happened? I've been absorbed? Uh-oh. Man, I may have been working on a new avatar for a game I started playing. Wanna see? Yeah. I'm yawning a lot today. Excuse-moi when I yawn too much. But yeah, I want to see it. Always. Can I even jump there? Oh wait, no, this is just here. What? This is the end, right? Yeah. So it must be like a secret level thing again. Check this bow.
Sugidio Maiwa. Yep.
Cowbold? Oh. Oh man, that looks so cool. And Zeal looks very cool. Wait, let me save. Just in case I lose focus of it and then it crashed again. Look at this kobold. Can I show it on stream, Zeal? Is it allowed? Sure, okay. Heck yeah, look at this. Look at this kobold. Wow. Wow. So cool. And then this one, mega comfy build. Oh my god. Wow. Yeehaw. Wow. So cool. Love. So cute. Love those avatars. And it crashed. Oh, fuck. You fuck. I don't think I saved that. Did I save? I think I saved, right? You really cannot lose attention, don't you? Okay, I saved. Heck yeah. May have started playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I heard a lot of good things about the game, but I don't think I want to play it. I just feel like I look at the game, doesn't really feel like the game that I want to play. Don't seem to remember. His attention span of a goldfish. It's all good. Sounds like me. Oh my god, my leg. Didn't I say something about underwater opening or something? Or like the secret thing? Fish mention. This is the starting area, right? Oh, I forgot about that. What? Oh, thank you, Hunk. A gift to sorrow, Napalm? Oh my god. Thank you. Look at that rubber ducky. Oh, what Biang is just here? 我老会逼车的时候找这样久东西，结果就在我前面，你妈逼车。Oh, secrets! Oh, I'm so good. And the head pets. Oh my god. Thank you, Nita. All secrets, all kills. I'm the best. I kill everything. This is a very familiar rhythm. Right? Not just me, right? Got him. See. Whee! Got him. Oh. Wait a minute. Hiya, why you like this one? Here we go, you get. The rocket. Feels like I'm missing a lot. 69 bullets? Oh my god, heck yeah. Look at that, 69. Beautiful number. We love that, we love that. Need gold key. The quad damage is in there. Oh! Why did it bleed just now? It bled again. What? That's not right. Why would you bleed? If you bleed means that you have secret. I don't get it. I'm stuck here. Or not. Oh my god, that was close. Nice too, nice too. Adorable, I got the box. Explosion! Now I can... Oh! I'm sorry. Explosion. Now I shall go raid the fridge for some breakfast. Heck yeah, have a good breakfast deal. Have you seen any strange beasts yet? No. Very upset cobalt noises because there's no strange beast. Oh, look at that. Guess I have to find the key in the water. Whee! Ow. Is there more? Oh, holy. Okay, now I want to go up. Yep. I don't like that sound. You hear that constant rook, rook? Not a fan. How you doing? Nice too. I hear ghosts, I think. Oh, oh, okay, there we go. It's fine, it's fine. What the fuck? Where did it come from? Got him. Oh my goodness. In a hug? Oh my god. Oh. Holy shit. Got him. So many nails. Yep. I feel like Kazoo would be just behind that door. Oh. Not too bad. Oh my god, I just ate that. My EP side shall lurk perhaps? Of course. Have a good EP and thanks for the lurk. I don't think I will stream for a lot more longer. It's like, yeah, it's almost 4 p.m. I think after this stage I might have to like stop and prepare for the trip. Yeah. See, it bleed once again. I don't trust that thing. Got him. Hope the trip goes well. Thank you, Sorrow. I hope so too, and I hope there's not too much anxiety going on as well. But thank you, thank you. What the fuck? Kerblow. That's your own explosion. Got him. Nice. Oh jeez. What the fuck, man? Oh, should I chop away? I think if I hit everything, if I hit that once. Oh no! I didn't save. Oh no! I didn't save. Wow, wow, wee. It's okay. No big deal. You fucking died, you kobold. Wait, why is fuck such a fun word? YouTube always censors it? I don't know. Kobold buff with guns? Yeah, true. I love guns. Guns are great. Oh my god, I ate that again. What? Why were you screaming? Hi again, Droxix. Also, thanks for the hug. Feels like there's a secret down there. Biosutsu. Oh. Oh shit. I found the secret area. YouTube allows movie scenes where people scream, burning alive, but the second they say fuck it's beep. I know, right? It's actually pretty stupid. I don't get it. Like, I know kids saying fuck might not be a good look, but then again, you know, monitor what your kids watch. Oh! Oh god! I remember a time here in Germany where censorship was really strict. Like in Gears of War, no blood allowed. Isn't Gears of War like a shooty bang bang game, something like this? How do you play a shooty bang bang game without blood? Oh wait, they're fighting each other. So I guess I need to hit every single one of those ones. That was a waste of bullet. But when South Park was running, that one kid can make jokes about Jews and mime Hitler and stuff. That was okay, but now, across in video games, no, no, no! Censorships. That went well. That was actually so dark. No blood? I was gonna defeat the blood gods. No, in Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2 and future games were uncensored though. At least they uncensored something. Whee! Ooh. Rocket. Rocket. The rocket. Explosion. These guys were not bleeding. Weird. Cool. Actually, what is the purpose of secret level? Ooh. It was still kind of funny to chainsaw an enemy and instead of blood it was just sparks flying out and she just dropped it. The funniest shit I ever saw was original Half-Life. When you shot civilians and like scientists, they sat down on the ground and shook their head in disapproval. Also all the US Marines were replaced with robots, so you don't have to shoot humans. I mean, that's like an entire new asset they have to make, right? I'm the dedication to go past the censorship. I kill everything, but I'm missing one secret. Fuck. No. Wait. Also no blood, so you never knew if you hit the target or not. Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, no blood, it's hard to know if you hit the thing or not. Alright, I have to stop here. I know it's kind of a short secret stream, but I had fun. I'm gonna go and prepare for the trip now. So, I will not... let me quit this game first. Are you gonna quit this game just like everything else? Yes! Yes! It's over? Yeah, it's a lot shorter, I understand. It is a secret stream and I kinda need to go prepare a lot of things. So yeah. It's okay, I'll be back on the... Yeah, I'll be back on December 13th. It's kind of a lengthy Kobo's not here time, but it's a vacation. I'm gonna go attend the furry convention. Still glad I called it. I'm glad you called it pretty early too. Happy cobalt noises. Also, I don't know why. Feels good. I'm once again asking for your financial support. Here, let's let Bernie say that. Hey, Bernie.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Thanks, Bernie. So yeah, after after the vacation, I'll be back on December 13th. And after that, I will definitely focus on doing the doing art more, right? Especially during Thursday and Mondays. Right? I need to get back into art. There's a lot of things that I still need to do. You know, the 3D models things I need to do, and then also the sniffer. I need to do the sniffer. So yeah, I have not forgotten yet. I have a list of who I need to do the sniffer for. I have a note. Me want my sniffer and the stare? Yeah, definitely. Let's see, it's not this one. When was this? Oh yeah, I found a sniffer list. There's Merp, Tikaka, Zio, Brian, Ixon, Ion, Agenda, Color, Sora, Napalm, Chip, and Nexus. I really find your model looks. Oh, thank you. I really love the cobalt, how the cobalt looks as well. Might be one of my most I put the most effort into this model. So I'm glad it looks good. I'm very glad. Might be my best looking model out of the four of them. I didn't really remake the cryptid yet. Yeah. But I do have the snake. The snake is a little bit unfortunate because I messed up the hand. So, oh, but the snake still looks good with glasses too. And then you have the dragon. You know, the dragon. I haven't done this yet. But yeah, the dragon. Long noodle. Haven't fixed this one yet. Check this out. oh no. Oh no, what is this? I haven't fixed that one yet. Right, so the model is there. It's just a lot of things is not done yet. Well, not fixed, I would say. Right, like this one haven't added in yet, the bell. And you know, this one, it is not weight painted properly yet, so that's why. Must have messed up there. But yeah, this is generally how my dragon looks. Very nice. Very nice. I like. Me very like. I might want to change the shader on the dragon as well, because now the dragon model looks flat. And I think I need the standard shader in Unity so that the VTuber Plus can show it. Because the mains are gold. This one is half gold. You have a golden snoot thing. And golden mane as well, right? And the golden nails, because gold is good. Pretty much, right? Pretty much. I'll definitely find a day to fix it. And maybe even remake my own cryptid model, right? So yeah, I'm gonna take a huge break, and I'll be back on December 13th. And then during December 13th, it's Friday the 13th, by the way. Yeah, I'll come back and maybe I'll do some recap of the convention that I went to. Maybe share some experience and stuff. I do love sharing stuff. Of course, not the ones that's like gonna break the TOS and then just like gonna get my channel banned. Maybe, I don't know. I never really... Yeah, this is like the first time I stream on Tuesday at a time like this. Stay safe, have fun. Thank you. I'll definitely stay safe. Not gonna be... Oh my god, gems.
Have some good luck gems, 4-leaf stare.
Wow. I got 200 good luck gems. Thank you. Wow. Next to Kobo, I've been licked. Thanks for the gem again. Oh, Vertaki is streaming. Oh wait, Numbers is streaming. Oh god. What? And some good luck,
good luck nuzzles from the V.
Oh. Oh wait, now it's like 2 interactions can have light train? Question mark? Wasn't it 3? Did I change it? Can I change that? Weird. But hey, thanks for another 100 gem. Thank you. I got the good luck gems and the good luck newsletters. I'm thinking I don't really get a chance to rate both Numbers and Vertaki. Oh, Vertaki is playing 7 Days to Die? Oh my goodness, 7 Days to Die. Oh, Oh, the game is so fun though. I'm so lazy to play that though. But numbers, I don't really have a chance to rate both of these beans. I can't choose. Oh. I kinda want to rate numbers. I'll rate numbers and see if there's next time I can rate Vertaki. Because Vertaki is such a nice kobold, honestly. And a purple bolt as well. And you know what? Purple is the best color? Heck yeah, period. And Vertaki is all purple bolt. What the hell? I wonder what's going on. But anyway, I forgot what I wanted to say, but Vertaki is cool. You know what? I'm gonna rate numbers, but I'm gonna shout Vertaki. Because Vertaki is very adorable. So is all kobolds, honestly. There's Vertaki. Look at that purple kobold. Vertaki does art as well, so yeah. I mean, her art is more like felt, like handmade felt stuff. It's so adorable, honestly. Check her out. It's cool. But with that, I'm gonna type in the rate to numbers. Oh yeah, also I forgot to say, I have a Discord. I announced the vacation thing, right? And the sticker stream that is today's stream as well. So I had fun. I hope you guys had fun as well. We're gonna ask numbers for a heckin' up piece. Because numbers is big snake. Number big snake. We're gonna rate numbers. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And you win. Oh goodness me, I keep stretching and yawning. Oh, what's going on with me today? Anyway, what the hell is going on outside? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I don't know if it's construction. I cannot even see, but there's like a huge loud noise going on. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. Kobold don't like the loud weird noises that I don't know what it is. Wait. Anyway, I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, pretty much it's essentially just kobolds digging big hole, probably. Maybe. It's a tad bit concerning, but yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I will be back on next Friday. I'll be back streaming on Friday the 13th. December 13th I'll be back. And yeah, pretty much. Cowboy's gonna go pack up, prepare, and hopefully not missing anything, right? I already typed I'll miss you. No, I'll always be in Discord whenever I can with my phone. So yeah, I know I don't talk much. I really don't. But I'll still, like, if people find me, I'll still talk to them to the best of my abilities. I don't really do small talk since I'm not really good at that. So yeah, again. I'll be at Discord. I'll share dragon pictures whenever I can, or I'll share some cool pictures that I've taken during Firm, which is very unlikely since I'll be soon. But I don't know. We'll see. If any pictures I take, I'll share them with y'all, of course, because you know, good pictures. Gonna take them. So yeah. I also saw some very nice new good looking dragon suits out there from like locals. and Thailand. Right, I saw some. I was like, ooh, very cool. Let me see. Let me see if I can find more dragons and take pictures with. Oh my god. But one thing is sad because I was asking. I was talking to Terex the other day, and we wanted to, like, we always have like a bit of a, not tradition, but something that we always do during firm. Like every year, we will meet up during firm, me and Terex, and then we will take a picture together as to like change or like to update the picture of our profile picture that we use for a bit. Every year we're gonna do that, but this year, because MFF, I don't know what that is, but it's another furry convention in Europe area, I think. I'm not too sure, but MFF and Firm starts at the exact same week, so that's why Terex is going to MFF instead of Firm this year, because his boyfriend has something to celebrate at MFF. So yeah, no updating pictures this year. It's alright though. There's always next chance to do it. Yeah. And kiss Terex for me. look. I think. Look, the last time we talked, which is like about last week, I told him about like me being a kobold and he was aware, and then he started to be like, you know, kobolds are supposed to do, right? He's like, yeah, supposed to stuff dragons. It's like, oh shit, he's on to me. I would if I could. It's what I'm trying to say. Look, it's a kobold kissing a dragon. Come on, all right. Heck yeah. Look at that credit card. Why is the Flareon holding a credit card? Don't burn it. Alright, I gotta type in the right to. Oh my god, it's ITZ numbers. There we go. Type in the rate. I'm gonna go rate. We're gonna rate a big snake. So yeah, I'll see you guys on December 13th. But anyway, I hope I had fun. I hope you guys had fun too. Before the raid, I want to say thank you all so much for joining with me today. Really appreciate all of you. Love you so much. And I also know that you guys are all heckin' loved, valid, and matter. Very valuable. Kobold things here are very valuable. And here comes the rate to a numbers. I hope I typed it right. There. Okay, good. It was right. Have a good night, day, morning, whatever it is there. Thank you. It's afternoon. Yeah, it's kind of day. It's 4 p.m. Thank you. Have a good time zone to y'all as well. Night night. I will have lots of fun. I will stay safe. I'll miss my chat a lot as well, of course. I'll try to interact at Discord as much as I can. Definitely try. I'll try, but no promises because I am really bad at interacting with messages. It gives me mega anxiety, so I'll try still. I'll try, but at least I'll try to. I'll definitely send a lot of dragon pictures when I can, be it the spicy one or the normal one. Heck yeah, right? Heck yeah. Just enjoy yourself. I will. Talking hard. Talking is really hard, especially today. Especially today is really fucking hard. But yeah, take care everyone. Kobold loves y'all. I'll see you guys on 13th December. I'm gonna go fly, have a vacation now. Bye bye. Mwah. Take care. Yeah.